we've made it to we're going to be visiting the Bluebell Railway on the Bluebell Railway Trainspotters meet up today, and we're getting a southern service to East Gloucester, which will have 8 places. Because we're currently here at Clapham Junction, we came via Wimbledon to get here, because what here is more mileage. Then we're heading to East Gloucester, which will have, which is where we change for the Bluebell Railway, and we should see some familiar places to issue targeted trains such as community like Andy Miller and Daves Trains. So this is the 7377, some also has 387s and 717s, which, no, not 717s, 171s, which are diesel units which work upfield and Martian line. The officer seems to be a 4MT tank and a class 73 electro diesel. The 73s are sometimes known as perfect units for heritage railways because they've got a 600 horsepower diesel engine, which might seem quite weak, but then you only can do 25 miles an hour on the heritage railway, so actually 600 horses is actually more than enough because we have made it to the Bluebell Railway for the meet-up. Some people are coming from Sheffield Park, but we came from Clapham Junction because it was easier. So we're starting off here at East Gloucester, and this is the southern siding here. Don't know what his name is. That's the sectional appendix thing. Check the name of that out. Right. No. The smell of steaming. Because we're control of Kingswood, okay.
because it's on the Pullman.
Huh?
Yeah. Now you can say sorry.
Oh, got This is King's Court. And now I'm going to explore the wagons here at King's Court and other stuff with everyone else who's here on the meetup.
We are at King's Coach Station now, which is 2 miles south of East Grinstead. We're on like a little goods train area. This is a freight van with a veranda at both ends, as being demonstrated by Clevo. The driver was able to lean out and observe the train and see what's going on. And obviously you have a screw down brake, handbrake in the centre of that. Now, down here, what I'm currently stood on, this is not a platform, this was what's known as a cattle dock. Now, why was it called a cattle dock? Because the cattle would come from the farmers and stuff like that, and they would go onto the wagons. But because it was a cattle dock, they needed what was called a pen. Now, not a pen that you would write a book with, or
It's coming out. Are you going on? Yeah. I was going to shut the door. Nothing's happened since whatever I've told you that. It's sat there gathering dust. In fact, it wouldn't work when I came back from France. I applied all the glue to my newest balance. Very similar to this.
There's steam on the wagon. I have no clue why it's a steam burner on the wagon, but yeah, it is a steam burner. No. And why would you want to steam burner on this in a wagon? That doesn't make any sense. But it is. The signal box there controls not just King's Coach where we are, but also East Grinstead. So that's quite rare to have a signal box to control 2 stations on the Heritage Railway. And here at King's Court there's also quite a rare thing, an underpass at Heritage Railway, and the train says there's, can't think of anything other ones. There might be a couple of other places apart from under Bluebell which have underpasses.
Options. You could go in here.
What, about 5-minute wait then?
That's the underpass. Yeah, King's Court.
Yeah, no, we've got a shed store for it. I might suggest that everyone gets on. Well, here, number 1.
We need to start making longer phone comments.
Yeah, added as well.
It would be greatly appreciated.
When you watch the video, in the bottom right hand corner now is the little red subscribe thing. So if you watch it, you click that and subscribe straight away. So.
How do you plan your YouTube videos? Because I've never done like a long.
It just goes to places. It's been taking me ages to convince him. Just try it. Just go and try it. Just try it. Just turn the camera the other way, and then try it. It's trial and error. Like your first TikTok video was probably awful, and then
Yeah.
5 years later, if I went back to watch my first one about back in lockdown when I first started posting about doing side hustles and making money on first.
Because it's got that white giant cross on it. We are now on the viaduct out to East Grinstead behind 73133, otherwise known as E6040, the Bluebell Railway. Having just left East Grinstead, heading to Horses Keys through the King's Coat. The 73s have a 600 horsepower diesel engine, and then they are electric diesel, which means they have can draw up to 1,500 horsepower off the third rail. Which is at East Grinstead for Sutherland and Kensington services. And this carriage here has a curved roof on the door to make sure that if you go for a tunnel, you don't hit the window door on the tunnel wall to protect it from that. We have made it to Horsted Keynes. Okay, was it Kane? Can't tell.
That side.
That side. You wanted the other part. Oh yeah, oh yeah, put it down.
The ED song. The coach on the bogies. So the coach sits on the bogies and the bogies swivel on the
Yeah, that's all there is to it.
So it's not, it's just gravity that holds it.
Yeah, I mean, you put something.
There is something in there.
Something through the pin at the bottom.
I was going to say, it's not far off, is it?
Nothing else fits together. And the brake system, if you're interested in that, is a sort of caliper brake system. Which is,
The Isle of Wight had similar coaches to this one.
yes, yeah, exactly. Their four-wheelers are, in many ways, similar to these Brighton vehicles that I've shown you.
I love the guard section. Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, got the lookout. Obviously, the
Horsted Keynes has also got an undertask, which is also rare for a heritage fair. It's like King's Cup and the way on the move up here. There's a water crane. Which doesn't have its thing, which is to go, so you could chuck water into the tender to refill the tender on the steam engine or the tank. This is all very historical design, and up until the 60s or 70s, BR used to run third rail trains here on the Arding Line branch. That's where the Arding Line branch used to go, and that's what the tracks used to go that way to Arding Line, to the Arding Line branch line, which was still a track, and then it was single track with one line retained. Both lines were retained until closure, but one was for coaching stock, and they single lined it, and it was third rail. So there might still the remnants of third rail here. There's a flat another piece of there which makes sure that you can always see if the signal is off, because in some cases due to structures or curvature of the line you can't actually see if the signal is off, and as you can see it's off over there. To Sheffield Park, however, we couldn't stay with it obviously because this is the last one back, because if there hadn't been delays we would have suspend some more times than others. and the next to all the sprints is where the 2 finishes and we put the stuff on. Okay, so this is lovely. VR4MT is doing a performance today on the Bluebell. This is absolutely lovely. You can really hear her go. This is what a scenery really just has. May not have don't sound so good on here today because they don't have enough work, because they're so powerful that a VR4MT really does work. That's what, and then one way I feel that a VR3MT which will work even harder. There's no VR3MT second generation, hence why they're still doing a new deal with 3MT, which is working even harder than this.
It's such a nice smell. It's our way there.
We're back at East Grinstead. This is Network Rail. That's Bluebell Rail. That gate there marks the boundary between Network Rail and Bluebell Rail. And that was some good flash up from the 4MT 8151. That was really fun to hear. And this is what Southern runs, the 377 Electrostar. Yeah. A 4MT or what's that? The 4MT really made some right racket, especially through the tunnel. So I really enjoyed that. This isn't so the main response to this station there, because this is a siding for Southern services, because they're not in the captain. East Grinstead are lovely. East Grinstead, Bluebell is lovely station. So yeah, I've got some nice front rows, and we've got some lights, the best part. This was only opened in the last decade, because just before then you had everything that stopped at Kingscote. So this means that here he goes, finished here. You've got the Arding Light Watch, which they also own, which is planned, which might be extended to, and you can just see from the distance the National Rail station. We're now back on the National Rail platforms here at East Grinstead, and then I'll get a Southern train back to Clapham Junction, where we started this video, and then that'll be the end of this video. I chose to wait for the next one, so that way I've got more chance of getting a seat, rather than having to get not get a seat, which I'd like to get. And this is as far as both Southern and the Bluebell go. I've made it back to Clapham Junction from East Grinstead on the Southern 377. Hope you enjoyed that little video from the Trainspotters meter at the railway. It was quite fun, and this is Clapham Junction on the main.
Passengers on platform 9, stand back.